Food Service and owner of the district's wellness promotion policy. I am so happy. Oh, we're already awesome. I'm so happy to see so many people here, both in person, and we have about 30 people online virtually as well. Happy Cinco de Mayo, and also happy School Lunch Hero Day. So to open the meeting today, I would like to ask you all to stand, and those virtually also, you can stand up. Because I want to talk to you about weights. So think just a little bit about weights. Weights come in different sizes, they come in different shapes, and of course they come in different weights. You have different weights. There's the dumbbell weights, the barbell weights. You might have weights that you have on your ankles when you're training for a run, or your arms. And you also have other weights that are more figurative weights, like the weights that you may have brought in with you today. Maybe there are worries for the day. Maybe there are things that you're thinking about that you have to accomplish before you leave by the end of the day today, or this weekend. Maybe you have some personal weights as well that you're carrying with you today. And I'm going to ask you to put those weights down for 2.5 hours. So what you're going to do right now, because we're wellness, you're going to lean over and you're going to remove the weights from your ankle. Everybody can lean over. You're going to stretch and take the ones off your wrists and throw them away. You also have those ultra heavy weights maybe on your shoulder. You're going to remove those. And now for the next 2.5 hours, I want you to be present in our celebration today. Enjoy the energy in the room. You can already feel it. It's going to be an amazing ride today. And once you've removed those weights, you can take a deep breath and just have a seat and be ready for today. I want to thank all of you for being here, and also a special thanks to the performers today. We had the students from H.L. Johnson, Pomosa School of the Arts, and also CAPE. That was amazing. Thank you guys for starting us off in such a beautiful way. And now I'm going to ask you to stand again because, of course, this is for wellness. So stand up again. And now for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you can just stay standing for just a minute, we have a special treat. That was actually the students from Bach Middle School. And then we also have the national anthem. It's going to be performed by the students from H.L. Johnson Elementary School.
Before they get started, I just want to say thank you, Ms. Jackie, for bringing all the students. This was really wonderful. You guys are ready?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I do want to mention something before I introduce our next speaker. So these wonderful little clappers that we have for wellness, we always want to borrow great ideas from other people. So at the beginning of this year, the superintendent had these at his kickoff. So thank you so much, because now we have utilized that great idea, as we do for a lot of things that you bring to us, Mr. Burke. So now I have the pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Mike Burke. Mr. Burke is a leader who understands that our school district and all school districts around the country must provide an exceptional learning environment and experience for all of our students. In order to excel academically, students must be afforded the opportunity to be well. Our whole school, whole community, whole child approach here in Palm Beach County allows for collaboration among staff and community partners to move initiatives forward and provide resources for wellness. And Mr. Burke is at the helm of this very large ship, ensuring that wellness is addressed. We thank him for being here today.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Monbleu. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope you're all feeling weight-free. That's been my motto. It's carefree in 2023. That's what I'm trying to live by. And really, the only thing holding me down is gravity. I'd be float right off my feet here. But it's a great celebration here. I really like this event. I've had the chance to attend it over the years, and it's a nice celebration for our students, our staff, and community members who have all kind of pitched in the name of wellness and to encourage people to live a lifelong, full of wellness activities and taking care of themselves. And, this work has always been a priority for our district, and I feel like thanks to Ms. Monbleu and the team, we're leaders in this area, Palm Beach County, and in our great partnerships, but this work is now more important than ever. Coming out of the pandemic, I think it's pretty well known that our students are coming back with more challenges than they ever had before. We're really fortunate in Palm Beach County to have the support of our community in terms of the referendum that was renewed in 2022, which allows us to put a lot of additional mental health resources into our schools, along with safety and choice programs and improving teacher pay. But our district, we're fully accredited, and to maintain that accreditation, you have to go through a review every 5 years, and we have just gone through that process. And it's an international accreditation for all of our schools, and as part of that, the review is about to be completed. But one of the things they mentioned as they are going on their way out was they praised the work we did with mental health. They praised our positive behavior support approach to encouraging good behavior. But then they said, you know what, please continue on this path and try to do more if you can, just because mental health is so important now. And we saw fit, the board approved a new strategic plan back in August. And for the first time ever, mental health is a major part. It's a theme. It's basically a quarter of that plan revolves around mental health. So, hey, all right. These clickers are great, but in about 2.5 hours, you're going to say, okay, I think I've had enough of the clickers. But the other thing I just want to mention on those mental health initiatives, most are student-facing, but it's also for our staff. And that was something the board made clear to me. Coming out, just a pandemic pronounced everything. And we really saw some of our employees, that had just rolled up their sleeves and worked incredibly hard through some very trying times, and that we need to be really sure that we're looking out for them and taking care of them. So we're working down this path. We've had some recent accomplishments that it's furthering this work. We have now trained over 87%. Yeah, 87% of our workforce is trained in youth mental health first aid, and that's 16,500 people. We're the largest employer, so we have nearly 23,000 employees, but we have 16,500 trained, including me. I went through it. It was excellent. It was about 6.5 hours of training. And we're not expecting all of these people trained to be able to provide counseling or support or therapy, but the training allows you to kind of look for signs that maybe somebody's not doing that great, or they looking for signs that maybe they could use a little help or support. And then we ask our employees, we tell them where to go for support, make sure we align the services to the students and employees that need it. So I'm excited about that. Our school food service people did something really cool. we are now a community eligibility program school district, which means free breakfast and free lunch for everybody, for all our students. And so that's huge. You know, we had enjoyed that for a couple years. That was funded by the federal government as part of the pandemic relief. And now we have that, you know, going forward, and it's terrific. The participation, more kids are eating now because of it, and there's no stigma of having to apply, you know, for free and reduced lunch. So that's been great. And then lastly, you know, part of mental health, I think, is just feeling like you're safe and secure. So we're always working to harden our campuses and add layers of support. We got Chief Mooney, I see in the back, and Deputy Chief Vanessa Snow and her team. But yeah, give it up for the school police. You know, this school year, we added an emergency panic button called Centegix. So all of our employees now wear this badge. And if there is an emergency, it can be pressed on for either like a medical emergency, or if it's a true, like, we've got an active threat situation, it can be used, and it triggers 911. It alerts all the authorities to converge on that spot of where this badge is. And when you're on our school campuses, we can see the exact position of the badge. So that was a good enhancement. School police does a lot of great things. You may have seen we have Jamie, our therapy dog. Did you guys get a chance to pet Jamie? He's in the back. The therapy dogs, we're going to have to get more of them because every now and then we do have situations that require some counseling on our campuses. We have, something tragic happens, and the therapy dogs go in along with our team of humans, but the dogs are more popular. I can tell. I've seen it firsthand. And along those lines, they've asked me to share a video of another important canine that works for our district, and that is Cash. Oh, I get to operate it? Okay, thanks, Ms. Triana. There we go.
Everything is done a ritual, because that's how you teach a dog. Repetition, repetition, and when it's fun, the dog will do it.
Today I had a chance to work with Detective Curtis Riddick, and he's one of our canine officers. And his partner is Cash, which stands for Kids Are Safe Here.
And see what he does immediately, he put his nose down, because that is the main reason we have him, for his olfactory system.
He is a scent dog, so he can find anything or anybody.
Once I find that scent article, I will present it to Cash. I go and find his book. I'll find his book bag. And once I put his harness on, he knows it's time to go to work. As you can see, he's already in go mode. Here. Brace yourself. You can slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Cash is tipping the scales a little over 110 pounds, so he's a strong dog. We found him. Good job, Cash. Good job.
Training a dog, you keep it light, happy, and repetitive. Just like in the classroom, when the teachers do the lesson plans for the kids, they make it fun.
Hello, good morning.
What's up, guys?
What's really great about these canine units is it helps us build relationships between the police officers and our students. You all have friends, Cash.
When you see the reaction on these kids' face when they see the dog, they just melt. And Cash reads that and just rolls on the ground with them.
Cash steals the show any room he walks into, and he's cool, calm, and collected about it. We always talk about a multifaceted approach to school safety, and this is just one more layer. But having our own police force, our strong mental health teams, we've got the panic buttons, we have Fortify Florida. We're never done with security. We just keep adding more and more preventative measures to protect our students and our employees. All right, Cash, you did a good job there. I always kind of evaluate these Work at Work segments as like, this is a job I'd like to do. And this one, absolutely. I don't have the training, but if I had to do it over again, I think being a K-9 officer in the school district here in Palm Beach County would be a great job. All right. Thanks for indulging me. I'm really proud to be superintendent of this school district, so I love these opportunities to get out and work with our team, which is, like I said, almost 23,000 strong. The leader of that team at the very top is one of my 7 bosses, our chairman of the school board, Mr. Frank Barbieri. And much like K-9 units, superintendents are trained through repetition. So I'm fortunate to have a school board that works with me and guides me along. So Chairman Barbieri, I'd like to invite you up.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I think we finally found the perfect superintendent for Palm Beach County. What do you say? Mr. Burke, we do need some more of those dogs like Jamie. I think each one of the board members should be able to take one home after some of these board meetings. He's a therapy dog, right? So we could use some of that. I want to thank you, Mr. Superintendent, for sharing some of the accomplishments we've made this year in our ongoing pursuit of wellness. And I think all of us could benefit from spending some quality time with Cash, just to get away from the building and get out there in where it's safe. As a school board, we appreciate the task force's proactive, holistic approach that supports the health, wellness, and safety of students, parents, employees, and the community. Good health and success in the classroom go hand in hand. That's why it's so important for everyone to work together to create an educational environment that promotes learning as well as the development of healthy life habits. Well-being improves students' academic performance, behavior, social integration, and overall satisfaction with school. The efforts of our wellness team helped the district achieve our ultimate goal of improving student performance and ensuring that our children reach their highest potential. The progress we have made is due to the commitment of the district and the community working together. I appreciate all of you coming together this afternoon for our wellness celebration, where we will enjoy a robust program filled with awards and recognitions around our whole school, whole community, whole child efforts. Mr. Burke mentioned that it's been tough on a lot of our students after coming back from the pandemic. So it's great that all of you are getting the training, all of our staff are getting the training, because my colleagues and I on the board visit our schools on a regular basis, and it's tough to see some of the things those kids are going through. So whenever you have an opportunity to work with one of the children that you see may need some extra help, please do what you can to help the kids. There's a lot of them that really need our help at this point. I understand that Mr. Ferguson is here, and he was going to say a few words, but I don't know if he's here. I know Mrs. Andrews is here, and is Mrs. Whitfield here? Okay, so Mrs. Andrews, would you like to come up and say a few things? Don't clap with that thing, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a wonderful afternoon it is when we emphasize wellness. To our wonderful superintendent, Chair Barbieri, we did make the right choice. And this is the right choice with the School District of Palm Beach County. When we look at our wellness program, our task force, all of the team from the school district, all of our children, our teachers, our staff, and our community, being well means everything. Yes, we made it through the pandemic, but it has been tough on all of us working together, knowing that a healthy body, mind, soul, academic structure, social, emotional, mental, all of that plays a part. And as I look at all of you today, you've been a part of the team to keep Palm Beach County School District as well as our community healthy. And as the school board member representing our superintendent and all of the people of Palm Beach County School District, I just want to thank you and congratulate all of you who will be honored today, but for all of you who are sitting here, because I see the wellness. The weights have been lifted, and I'm celebrating. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burke, Mr. Barbieri, and Ms. Andrews for being here. We really appreciate the warm welcome you gave to our committee. Thank you so much. So this is a large group of people here today, and I know many of you have been with us along our journey with wellness for over the years. But I also know that we have some first-time attendees here today. So we would first like to start off by recognizing you. So if this is your first time at a task force meeting, please stand so that we can all recognize you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Dr. Seth Bernstein, who is the Executive Vice President of Community Investments at the United Way of Palm Beach County and our Community Chair of the Wellness Promotion Task Force, was not able to be here today, but he does have a few words that he would like to say to welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm not there with you in person today, but I am there in spirit. And I just wanted to thank you for all that you do on behalf of our students, schools, staff, and communities, and just wish you the best celebration around the Wellness Promotion Task Force, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm here to tell you about the school district.
Sorry. So Thank you, Seth, is what I was supposed to say before he started talking again. So rude, no. So Seth always shares with us the purpose of our task force, and so I'm going to send it back over to Seth to share the purpose.
I'm here to tell you about the school district's Wellness Promotion Task Force's purpose, which is to create an educational forum that allows students, staff, parents, community partners, and members of the public to successfully collaborate in the promotion of healthier lives. With the district's ultimate goal of improving student performance, the direction of the Wellness Promotion Task Force is to encourage a proactive approach to holistically address the health, wellness, and safety of all school children and staff.
Thank you, Seth. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Wellness Promotion Manager, Paula Triana. Paula has been with the district for 22 years and puts her heart into helping our staff and students. She is passionate about wellness and has been instrumental in developing and growing our wellness initiative, as well as responsible for putting the celebration together today. Paula.
Hello, hello. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you, Allison, and thank you, Superintendent, and all that were able to do their remarks. Certainly, we are very blessed to have this district, and our children, my children, are blessed to go to school every day and learn so very much. So I want to thank you for being here. I love you so very much. With my thank you first, did you guys enjoy the entertainment? Because I think it was really, really amazing. Here, the dancer and the drummers, and outside, H.L. Johnson, those kids were phenomenal. So Marcia, thank you again for helping us getting those kids here. And also, Robert, I really thank you for doing that. It was great to have Jackie and her team. I want to also thank a few others, Cape Universal, for having the dancer and the drummers. United Healthcare, Carly, thank you for helping us with that. And I think they supplied us with some goods for this event. And Plumosa School of the Arts, I think Rhonda's around here with Ms. There you go, and Ms. Pun and the students who you will enjoy a little bit their performance and a little bit of the program. So as we mentioned, what's the whole school, whole community, whole child effort? It's an effort of components of uniting, again, the non-instructional and instructional part. Kids cannot learn alone, and we know they can't learn if they're hungry, if they're not feeling good, if they're not active enough, if they're not hydrated enough, if they're not sleeping enough, if they're not getting that care from their physical, their emotional. And we really are very, very committed to that with components. So I want to also thank everyone, if they can stand, who planned this event today, from all the WIS components. If you can stand, thank you. I know there's some. I see Nancy, and I see Carly, and I see Robert, and I see Dr. Musenik. Thank you very, very much. We really are looking again at that opportunity to care for the child and look at that whole child, kind of that picture frame of a child that Dr. Robinson always mentioned. What was it? That portrait of a graduate. Okay, so a portrait of a graduate. It does take a village, and it does take all these components to complement. We were very excited to have the opportunity this year. A panel of 9 of us went to Chicago for the 2022 National Conference of Child Health and Wellbeing, and we presented about putting it all together the WIS way in Palm Beach County. So that was a great opportunity to showcase our district. In addition, on February 9, 2023, the School Health Advisory Council invited us to present, and there was an added, I wanted to add Carla Berlingire, who came and also came to that committee, and then Javier Ortolasa. So thank you, Javier, for participating in that. Our wellness policy also in the last adoption included the wellness collaboration team, and in this team we meet about 3 to 5 times a year to address things with the wellness policy. We've done that, and we're very excited to also have taken the Healthy School team and embedded and rebranded with the WIS model. So we're working closely with every area. Sabrina, thank you so much for representing the regions and really infusing this image of the WIS model so that schools can understand the value of the whole school, whole community, whole child, and making sure that we are in compliance with some of the things that are required. We know that communication is essential. If we don't communicate the right way, then people don't get the message, and then things don't go right. Thank you to the superintendent. We have communication through the bulletins. So we've taken thus far from July 1st to May 3rd bulletins that have addressed the 10 components. And thus far, we have 58 bulletins that address the physical education, nutrition, counseling, psychological, social service, social emotional climate, health education, health services, employee wellness, physical environment, family engagement, and community involvement. So when we had COVID, we had to kind of revamp and say, how are we going to do? Because we weren't meeting and we weren't, things had changed. So we decided to do a newsletter. And this newsletter, since COVID, has been really a really, wonderful opportunity for people to bring their information, share their information. Thus far, we have 58 editions that we have released through COVID, and I want to thank everybody who contributes to this monthly newsletter. Part of the wellness policy is to make sure we have an assessment. In Palm Beach County, typically we do a yearly assessment. Last assessment that we did just went out, and I'm very excited to say that we completed 100% of the assessment in all the school sites that we served. And that's a big accomplishment. And again, I can't thank enough the region's instructional, Sabrina and everybody in these regions that worked so hard to make sure that these schools completed this 71 questionnaire. And that is very critical for us because we will use those answers as we are revising the wellness policy in the coming year to 2024. And as you see here, we have had what's the story or what's the history of the wellness policy? We've been in effect for 17 years in the district with many leaders that have changed. And I just want to shout out all of them that supported wellness throughout the years. One of the responsibilities is that we communicate to the public through an annual report. Our annual report is in the process of getting started for FY23, and hopefully we'll have it completed in the fall. And your agenda, again, this is a great program that is shouting out all our students and staff and community that we could honor this year. There's so many more, but one of the things I want to also shout out is Global Wellness Day, which is June 10, 2023. So enjoy, there's a page in the program there. Next, we'll start with a little presentation, but I am very excited and honored and really grateful to finally really get to know you, Mr. Vargas, because we haven't really related, but I am very, very excited to work with you further and what you do with the strategic plan and all the things. So I am going to welcome you, and you are our Chief of Staff, and you're on the podium. So,
Good afternoon. So I'm not going to stand behind this podium. I need to walk around. I get a little antsy up there. So this is more me. I've got 10 minutes to tell you about a passionate, I'll say, of our district, of our superintendent, and this board of 7 that we work for and lead with. But before I do, I've got one question, and I need a verbal response. What is the best school district in the United States of America? That's weak. What is it? Thank you. We are blessed to live and lead and serve the children and families of Palm Beach County. When you drove in, you saw a sign that said, the A-rated system of schools of Palm Beach County. And what we believe is that for this strategic plan, starting August 3rd of 2022, that leads us through the next 5 years, that A-rated system of schools will continue and continue to soar to greater heights. That student achievement will continue to rise. That these mental health and wellness supports that Mission Possible has laid out is going to serve as our compass, our guide, our North Star to greatness. Not to say that we're an A-rated system of schools, but because we believe the impact that it's making. That it's going to create in our students college and career readiness. That leads to academic aptitude and technical skill attainment. That they're value added in the world in which we live. You want that for your kids? I want them for mine. No doubt. So that is what this strategic plan holds and offers. Thank you, Paula. Where's those clappers? Let's go to how this strategic plan was built. It is built off the work and effort and words of our school board. That it is, we are going to educate, affirm, and inspire each student in an equity-embedded system of schools. That we educate your mind, we affirm your heart, and we inspire you to be greatness within this world. That's our mission. So when we started this process back in August, how do you take 170,000 students, 23,000 employees, and get them to all go the same direction? It is this. It is a mission-centric organization. That is where we're steering. That is where Superintendent Burke is taking us. Our vision. Yes, there are 3 paragraphs. I'm going to highlight 3 words that we're getting back in that 3rd paragraph to a joy of learning. That when we came out of the darkness of COVID, that we were the light for our children and our families. That we want to experience intrinsic motivation, that they want to be awesome. And they want to get back to classrooms where they feel that joy of learning and that they do it 180 days out of the year with us. So if you haven't said thank you to the person next to you, please do so, because you're part of what this success looks like and the joy of learning that takes place on our campuses. Adam Miller, can I get some clapper? I talked about an equity-embedded system. I'm coming over to these folks and saying hi. This equity statement is something that our school board believes in. It is part of our mission and something that each of us as school district employees are living on a daily basis. Whoop. There are 7 core tenets. I feel like the first 2 years of kind of going through the first year of going through this strategic plan, we laid the foundation with the 3 words of educate, affirm, inspire. That we're living those. But these beliefs are equally as important. What do we believe about our children? That we have high expectations, that we believe that they're capable of growth. That each and every one of us has a role in their success. Crossing guard, school food service, bus driver, principal, counselor, superintendent, board member, each of us have a role in our student success. Investing in our employees, it is an investment in our children. Believe that. Superintendent Burke referenced the tax referendum. 75% of this community believes in that investment because they're paying for it. Clappers. And that ultimately diversity makes us stronger. Not even within the walls of these schools or this school district, but within this community called Palm Beach County. Our strategic plan, as I said, based on educate, affirm, inspire 4 themes: academic excellence and growth, student-focused culture, mental health and wellness, committed and impactful employees. Each of these, there are 13 initiatives. I can tell you I'm not trying to dive deep into each of these, but I want you to know them. If you really want to get to have the deep dive or analysis, we gave a close to hour-long workshop on Wednesday night to our board. Very interactive Q&A back with them. That is your deep dive, but today I'm highlighting on a very macro level on what that looks like. Strategic planning, for those that don't know, I'll put it in my words. These are the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart that are going to guide the vision for the next 5 years. That's what we've laid out. That's what this board has approved, and that's what each of us are living on a daily. These concentric circles highlight the ripple effect that each of us have. That it starts with the plan, yes. That August 3rd of last year to May 3rd, we gave an update Wednesday around what the plan is. What are our strengths? Identifying, man, we are doing good work and have been, but we can take great and make it awesome. And that's the intent. That certainly there are things that are coming at us that we do have to react to. There is a changing public education landscape that is in place. Legislative session ends today, and as a result, there are some things that have reshaped the way that we do this work and what it's going to look like moving forward. But we're not scared by that. We're taking on competition. We're going to be the best because we are the best. We are your best choice. And we believe it and know it. And the last part comes to, as we make these decisions, as we prioritize and as we move, that there is shift and change. What do we do with our time, talent, and treasure? That's the intent of a strategic plan, to have transformation for our ultimate goal, which is student success. When we built this, it wasn't in isolation. It wasn't Chairman Barbieri on the back of a napkin coming up with ideas. Not at all. We did ask our community. We asked our board. We asked our employees. But you know who else we asked for the first time? The kids in our classrooms. What do you want to see more in your education? And you're going to see things on here. When we ask you the question about educated, what's that mean? Book smart does not equate to educated. I want to learn more about how do I expand opportunities for quality of life? How do I better set and achieve goals? Continue education and attain degrees. Redefining success models. College, university, trade school, military, apprenticeships. Things that perhaps a generation or two ago were told differently. We're telling our children, hey, those are success models. Chase after them. Align your passions early so you can have greater outcomes on the back end. What does affirm mean? We'll be honest, I don't think a lot of our kids are, I don't know what that means. So here's their response. They're telling us that I need to know and trust somebody on my campus. That I'm going to live out the golden rule. Treat others like you want to be treated. That we're grounded, that we're confident, that we stand up for what we believe. Those are affirmations to our children. And the last one, it centers around inspiration. That they want to have a life of purpose. That it means something. It's more than a paycheck. It's intrinsic, that they want to have value added and make a difference in this world. I believe it, and I know you do too. So as part of that thought exchange that I referenced, where we went to the community, that we talked with our stakeholders, that we talked with our kids, and we talked with employees, these are some of the things that came through. Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it because I value what my children say to me as much as I do the adults in the room. So with all of this, this is how your strategic plan was built. I'm going to call up next our Director of Strategy Management, Ms. McLean Pilliner. And I also want to give a shout out to our Director of Chief Performance Accountability, Dr. Adam Miller. Let's get a little clapper, hold up. He's been incredibly critical in helping to steer and guide this work. But Ms. McLean Pilliner is going to walk us through kind of the where we are now and then some highlights of this plan. Ms. Pilliner?
Thank you, Mr. Bogus. I'm going to walk you through where we are now and some of the work that we have done. But what I want you to see is how the things that you see playing out in classrooms are impacted here. So I'm going to connect the plan to what you see as you go into classrooms, as you hear your children talk about the different activities or engagements that they're having in schools. Now, we started out back in October after the plan was approved, where we met with all of our work groups, did training, etc., so they understood how we wanted to be intentional, purposeful, goal-oriented, so that we can achieve the goals set out by the strategic plan in 5 years. So everything that we do is strategic and intentional. We moved through quite a few different activities, but where we are now today is that we're in the process of implementing our tasks, our projects, etc. Now, these are the 4 themes, and they came directly from the feedback that we got from our parents, our students, and also our employees. Academic excellence and growth, that was very important to our families and students, of course. Student-focused culture, mental health and wellness, like Mr. Burke mentioned, is the 4th of the plan. That's how important it is to us as an organization. And committed and impactful employees, because we know without our employees, we're nothing. So it's very important for they also to have a quarter of the plan. You through a few of the projects as they align to the themes. So the first one is implement the use of high quality instructional materials in K-12. Now, Mr. Tierney, one of our the chief of schools, has been doing great work with members on our staff to move our instruction in our classroom to strengthen K-5, because we know one of our goals that we have is to increase literacy by 3rd grade. For that to happen, we had to change a few things. So if you go into your classroom and see students using new curriculum, new way of thinking or working through problems, then that's where that is coming from. Another one I want to highlight is the work with the Early Learning Coalition, that in terms of the kindergarten readiness. For those of you who might have students who are getting ready to start kindergarten, you saw we did a great work with launching this year what it looks like differently, and some of the videos that we have sent out to families so they understand what is required to get their babies ready for school. But to theme B, which is student-focused culture, one of the things I want to highlight from that is the superintendent's student committee, advisory committee, who is actually in the process right now of influencing decisions at the district level. They meet regularly with Mr. Burke to talk about some of the things that are of interest to them as a school body, and Mr. Burke listens to that, engage in conversations, and where possible move forward. So if your student is a part of that, your child is a part of that, you might hear them come home and hear them talk about conversations or meetings that they're having with the superintendent. He values their voices. He wants to hear what they think, what they feel, and that's a way to be in touch with them all the time. Mental health and wellness, and we've been doing a lot of work in that. Mr. Oswald, Chief of Equity and Wellness, and his team has been doing great work where that is concerned. The students are very passionate about this one. They are very passionate. They want to know that they have a trusted adult on campus. They want to know that if they have experienced trauma of any kind, there's support that's there. And that's where Mr. Oswald and his team have been consistently listening, responding, and coming up with best practices and strategies to help our students and employees make sure they can thrive and live a beautiful life within our district and be happy to work for us. And the last one is theme D, committed and impactful employees. And the big part around this one is customer service excellence. This is something that we know that we are in the business of ensuring that we're the best choice and we stay that way. But for us to do that, we have to make sure that we're in touch with you and what you want. We have to keep our pulse in touch with you to know that we're hearing you and we're responding to you. And this is where that initiative comes in. So you'll see from time to time when you go into schools and you want tours of schools, etc., how receptive we will be and continue to do to make sure that we're always hearing you and responding to your needs. With that being said, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Bogus to wrap us up. Thank you so much.
Again, we opened with a thank you. I had you turn and say, hey, thank you, because without your leadership and what you do on a daily, we can't serve the 170,000 students that we have. So, Ms. Triana, we close with a thank you and all of your leadership, along with Allison Monbloom and the team.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. What a great presentation. Dr. Miller, thank you so very much. Yvette, can you take a stand again? And Barbie and Anik, are you there? Can you stand? I want to acknowledge your team. Thank you for your hard work, and thank you for incorporating mental health and wellness. That's really amazing, and we love it. So next, we have our student dance performance. Again, Plamosa School of the Arts, K-8. Students are here to do a performance. I want to thank, again, the principal, Rhonda Smith, and our dance dean, Andre Pun. Wow, this is great. Are you girls ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. They're so amazing. Miss Rhonda, Miss Andre, thank you. I know you got to run. Thank you. We love you so very much. So again, I mentioned how we have connected and become more united with our regions, thanks to our instructional support team leaders. All of them have been amazing, magnificent. They're hard workers, and they're committed to, again, educate, affirm, and inspire our students and our community. So representing all our instructional team leaders, today we have Sabrina Hingley.
Thank you, Paula, first of all, for having me. Thank you all for being here. This is really thrilling. And now I have to follow that beautiful performance. Congratulations to Miss Smith and those dancers. Yes, they were magnificent. So another clapper, hand of applause for them. They were really terrific. Really enjoyed that. So yes, as Paula said, I am here today representing all 4 regions within the school district. We were thrilled to have participated last year in the wellness celebration, sharing the contributions of the whole school, whole community, whole child initiatives in each of the 4 regions. For this year's celebration, we did it a little bit differently, and we decided to collaborate and come together to really showcase our wellness initiatives throughout all 4 regions in one cohesive presentation. I do hope that you had an opportunity to view that presentation before the program began. The slideshow was being shown, and in case you missed it, don't worry. It will be shown once again at the conclusion of the program, so I hope everyone has an opportunity to see that. As we know, the staff and community partners found in each of the 10 WIS components work together to really impact wellness across the entire school district of Palm Beach County, which of course is your best choice. I do want to recognize some of these essential contributors. These are just some, but definitely not limited to our healthy school teams in each of our buildings, our PE teachers, our school counselors, our skills for learning and life leads, our wellness champions, our green champions, our garden liaisons, our community stakeholders, and so many more. So once again, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here representing all 4 regions. And without further delay, I will let you get on to the fun stuff, the awards. Thank you again. Thank you, Paula.
So yes, now is the fun stuff. We're gonna celebrate many. So just to give a little kind of clearance, we're gonna celebrate each and then come take a photo and move right along. So we're gonna start with Carly Fabricant. Come, Carly.
Thank you, Paula. Great to be here. We have, as you hopefully know, we have about 225 wellness champions throughout the school district that do an incredible job to take care of the employees. But today we're going to talk about 3 awards that we have to recognize those outstanding wellness champions in schools. The first one is the RISE program, which is Resilience in School Environments. The RISE program is offered to us through the Alliance for a Healthier Generation. Sorry, tickle my throat. And Kaiser Permanente. We have had this program in our district for 2 years and have had great success in implementation. Thank you. The goal of the RISE program is to improve resiliency in our school staff, which can then translate to the students and help them build their toolbox for wellness, mental wellness. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna finish up. I am Charlotte, I'm the Assistant Wellness Coordinator. We've had this program in our district for 2 years, and we have had great success and implementation at several of our schools. The goal of the RISE program is to improve resiliency in our school staff, which can then translate to the students to help them build their toolbox for mental wellness. 9 of our schools have made great strides this year with the RISE program, and some of them have also applied for an award through the Alliance-based RISE program upon their schools ranking in several areas of coordinated school health on the Thriving Schools Integrated Assessment. The winners will be announced this summer, and we look forward to hearing which schools will win this year. Thank you to the following schools for embracing this program and allowing it to truly impact their school culture.
Okay, Okay, so if you are here to represent your school, if you wouldn't mind coming up, Atlantic Community High School, Boca Raton Middle School, Loxahatchee Groves Elementary, Manatee Elementary, Northborough Elementary, Palm Beach Gardens Elementary, Polo Park Middle, Spanish River Community High, and West Boca Raton Community High. Great job. Okay.
Would district leadership can come and take a photo with this school? Thank you. Joe and Keith, if you'd like to come up.
All right. One of my favorite, the Wellness Superheroes. Every month, we nominate a wellness champion that goes above and beyond to promote wellness at their location and helps to build a healthy culture among their employees. The superheroes are highlighted in our Well News newsletter, which gives them a chance to show their fellow SDPBC coworkers their passion for healthy living and for the position they hold as a champion. The 6 individuals chosen this year have done an outstanding job of keeping their employees informed about their benefits and the programs offered through wellness, engaged their staff on campus in fun and challenging health activities, and have supported their staff in navigating health challenges. We are so grateful for their hard work and dedication to the wellness program. So, we have a few here. Bridget Lutz from Gove Elementary, Juliet Franklin, Crossroads Academy, Karen Miller, Accounting, Margot Tomei, Palm Springs Community Middle, Tammy Bejarano, Bach Middle School of the Arts, and Very Sanith, Santa Lucia's Community High. If you are here representing, please come up.
You're getting your minute. You're set.
All right, and our last award is our Wellness Spotlight Awards. Wellness Spotlight Awards are given to schools that embody our wellness mission and vision. Supportive administrators, dedicated wellness champions, and engaged employees help to build a healthy campus culture, which can make for a supportive and productive workplace. The winners of the Wellness Spotlight Award are given $500 of Red Apple school supplies, as well as funding to create a staff relaxation room or a school garden. So this year we were able to award 2 schools with the Wellness Spotlight Award, and that is Hidden Oaks K-8 under the direction of their wellness champion Solange Dawson, and Loggers Run Middle under the direction of their wellness champion Nicole Perro. And they might not be, oh, yes. Hold on. I always play percussion, so I know you're good.
Thank you, Carly. And next, I would like to bring Eileen Torado. Eric Stern is not able to be here because his daughter is graduating from University of Florida. And Amy couldn't be here, but it's all yours.
And I press right here. I press right here.
And yeah, we can do that. We can do that, or we can do this.
Okay.
And then Ms. Ayala has something also.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I stand here representing the school district physical education team, Mr. Eric Stern, Miss Amy Snyder, and myself, Miss Eileen Torado, to honor a heroic, amazing physical education teacher of Palm Springs Middle School. I saved a student's life from death at work today. Not many of us can make this statement, but I know a superhero that can say this, Mr. J.D. Hill. I will now speak in his voice about this specific day at work. I had a student have a heart attack on the soccer field, called it in on my walkie, and started CPR by myself for 7 to 8 minutes. Got him back, but lost him again. My athletic director ran to get the AED out, and we implemented it. Got a heartbeat, and EMS arrived a minute later. He's alive. Get your PE team trained. I started the compressions and we got the AED right away. Shaved a lot of minutes off. We gave EMS a kid with a heartbeat. I'm okay emotionally. I gave it my best. No pulse and unresponsive. Big kid flipped him over and called for help and killed the compressions. Doctor says I saved his life. This would not be a celebration without sharing a photo of mom and the student. We're so proud to be in a school district where our teachers and students are trained in CPR and AED thanks to the efforts of our school board, specifically Mrs. Erica Whitfield, who has made sure that we have been ahead of this well before the state mandate. J.D. Hill, we are so proud of you. You make a difference in all your students and go beyond to save their lives. So we're going to, should we have the school board come up to present this award, please? All of our administration team? And Miss Ayala as well? The School District of Palm Beach County Wellness Task Force wants to express our deep and heartfelt gratitude to you for going above and beyond in saving a student's life. Mr. J.D. Hill, can you come up, please?
If the school principal and the can come up also for the photo. All right, we're moving right to the agenda. A moment of mindfulness. I'd like to bring on the team. And Jamal and Anthony. This will be a 2-minute of mindfulness, and then we will continue.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I have joining me today is Anthony and Jamal. And I would like for you to join me in a tapping exercise. This is a form of acupuncture where it helps to balance your meridian and helps you to be stress-free, take away any worries or any anxiety. So I want you now to show me your hands and to tap. You're going to tap on the side of your hand. It's called a karate chop. And while you're doing this, I want you to take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale like you're blowing out a candle. Take another deep cleansing breath in. And exhale like you're blowing out a candle. And I want you to reach to the top of your head, tapping and releasing any tension, any fear, any worries. Tap and release and let it go. The eyebrows, tap and release. Let it go. On the side of the eyes, tapping and release and letting go. Any fear, any worries. Under the nose, tapping and release and letting go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. On the chin, tapping and release. Anything that's bothering you, give it wings and let it fly. On the collarbone, tapping and release and letting go. Let it go, anything that's worrying you today. And then you're going to tap like 3 inches under the armpit. Tapping and release and letting go. And then always end at the top of the head. Tapping and release and let it go. Blessings to you. Bring your hands to a prayerful pose. Namaste. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Thank you.
They're coming back. So now our next recognition is for the Healthy Meals Advocate and Jamie McCarthy. Allison Mombolo and Chef Thomas Ochipinti.
Thank you, thank you. It is a great honor to be here and to recognize Chef Vincent Risi as the Healthy Meals Advocate. I forgot my... Those of you who don't know Vince, although I think he's a superstar in here, so everybody might know him. He is our coordinator here at the Fulton Holland Bistro Cafe. And Vince has been partnering with Employee Wellness to bring fresh and healthy meals not only to this building, but also to some of our surrounding district offices. Some of the collaboration highlights include a fresh delivered meals program from the central facility, where we have district staff from the maintenance and facilities and transportation departments, as well as to Chuck Shaw Educational Center. And in addition to that program, Vince has also worked with Employee Wellness and Marathon Health to launch a healthy meal pilot program here at the district, which included some interesting offerings, such as a white bean and spinach soup, a crustless quiche, spinach quiche, which I know he's continued to offer since it was a fan favorite, and a shrimp salad. And then also as part of the Winterfest that was held here at the district office, he offered black bean brownies, which were really yummy, a Brussels sprout slaw, a grilled chicken, cranberry and walnut salad, and butternut squash soup. And to wrap it all up, as you now go into the bistro, you may notice some shelf talking signs that he has out
that will help guide our customers to some healthier choices. So we're really proud of the partnership that we have with Employee Wellness, and we're so pleased to be able to recognize Chef Vince for his support to make all of this happen.
Congratulations, Vince. You're awesome, and I know you're loved in this building. Jamie, you're still on the garden spotlight.
I am. I like how she did that program for me. Okay, so I have a couple garden spotlights that I would like to recognize. I'm actually standing in on behalf of Janine Rizzo, who is our garden liaison and leads our garden collaboration team, and she was not able to be here this afternoon. Our first spotlight of the afternoon includes a cutting-edge approach to the utilization of vacant land on school district property to develop a community garden. I am so excited for you all to hear about the amazing work that Valika Brown, the CEO and founder of eRoadmaps and Operation No Food Gap, is doing in combination with city land and the campus land on JFK Middle School. This program is cultivating a community garden that will have long-lasting benefits for the students and residents. Please help me welcome Valika Brown.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here and thank you for this honor. I know that we have limited time, so I have queued up a presentation. Recently, January 21st of this year, we had a grand opening for JFK Middle School. And again, my name is Valika Brown. I'm the CEO and founder of eRoadmap Corporation. And since COVID, we have pretty much narrowed our focus into our health and wellness arena. And we decided to launch what we call Operation No Food Gap. And we decided to partner with cities and municipalities to take unused parcels of land and develop them to grow food. So we have 2 additional lots, excuse me, and in 10 months we were able to grow and give out 12,000 pounds of non-GMO organic produce to residents. And yeah, it's humbling. We're excited. And it's right beside the JFK lot. And so I just kept looking at the lot, not being used. And we started a partnership with the principal of JFK, and the culinary department would come over to the space, the art department would come over. So we had a vision to pretty much develop the space as an extension of indoor programs and curriculum outside. So we developed this space to encompass a Zen area, so the kids could now in PE come outside and learn about yoga, meditation, mindfulness. We created a space for the culinary department to come out, and now they're able to have workshops out there. We put a garden out there as well, and even a space developed for the art teacher to have their kids come out for inspiration. So we're very excited about the land and what we will continue to do over the next few years with the school district. So we certainly invite you to stay plugged in. Follow us on nofoodgap.org. You can see exactly what we're doing, how we're expanding, and the next upcoming plan. So Again, you can find this video recap on our website, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you again for the honor. Okay.
So our next garden spotlight is going to be going out to Linda Moreno, who unfortunately is not able to be here this afternoon. She does send her regards for not being able to be here, but her appreciation for being recognized. Linda Moreno and Keep Palm Beach County Beautiful has been the generous funder of our Garden of Dreams projects that has been rolled out in about 6 or 7 of our middle schools throughout the county. And since she's not able to be here today, she did provide us with some slides, and I'd like to just quickly give Keep Palm Beach County Beautiful the recognition that they deserve. They are a nonprofit that serves Palm Beach County. They're certified under the nonprofit affiliate of Keep America Beautiful, and their mission is to enhance the quality of life in Palm Beach County through programs and partnerships that encourage public agencies, private entities, residents, and visitors to reduce litter and waste, increasing recycling, beautification, sustain and maintain public spaces, and inspire generations of environmental stewards. I have to give Linda and her team a lot of credit because they work really hard to put native plants back into our community, which is so very important for our ecosystem. And I've learned a lot because I'm able to plant native plants at my house, and when the sprinklers go down or there's no rain, they still stay nice because they're native to our lands. The Garden of Dreams program that they help to support helps our students engage with their senses. It provides them with a safe space to retreat, encourages relaxation, and allows them to recharge and rejuvenate their spirit. And then, of course, on the native garden side, it attracts birds, butterflies, and other insects, sustains a living ecosystem, and provides a platform for children to learn about nature, which is so important. There is a slide here that has their information, and we really, really thank Linda Moreno for her support and the Keep Palm Beach County Beautiful. And then our third recognition in the Garden Spotlight is going out to our school-based team at Eagles Landing. They were the most recent recipient of the Garden of Dreams program. Their Garden of Dreams was installed in October of 2022, so this school year. And I would like to welcome up Susan Hahn and Ashley Zook, the 2 lead ambassadors for the Garden of Dreams program at their school. Thank you, ladies.
Hi, I'm Susan Hahn. I'm a science teacher at Eagles Landing Middle School. And thanks to Keep Palm Beach County Beautiful, we have our Garden of Dreams, which is a place to unwind, enjoy nature, and learn about helping the Everglades. So this all started because the Everglades Champion in Action program. Students applied for a grant to get a native plant garden installed in our courtyard, and they got it. Visitors can scan the code to learn about helping the Everglades. The garden is utilized in many ways. Guidance counselors take students outside that need a little break. Teachers bring their classes out for brain breaks. The student government has students assigned to help maintain and promote the garden. A student is even working on butterfly signs for each plant. The National Junior Honor Society students earn community service hours for helping maintain the garden, and teachers come out on their breaks to enjoy the sounds and sun. And I can't tell you, every time I go out there in this little space, it's amazing how many birds and butterflies this has attracted.
Ashley Zook, and I'm the school's behavioral health professional. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the monthly mindsets. Yeah. The monthly mindsets that go along with the Garden of Dreams and how they are exposed to our students school-wide. We do it through the morning announcements, as well as every month with the monthly mindset. We give our students a chance to tell us what they think that mindset is to them. So an example for November, the monthly mindset was of gratitude, and we did have a door decorating contest. These are the winning doors with some of our classes, and they actually got a pizza party, so they were all very excited about that. Okay, so for the monthly mindset of December, it was kindness. Students were able to purchase kindness grams just to spread kindness amongst all of the students as well as their staff members. And for January, it was vision. Our students came out to the garden and were able to create vision boards, which they were all very excited about, and a lot of them have them hanging in their lockers as well. Initiatives that myself and our co-located therapist came up with the Garden of Dreams is Wind Down Wednesday, which is a midweek mindfulness group that is open to all students as well as staff members. They can come out and participate in some mindfulness activities. It's a safe place for them to express themselves as well as socialize with their peers.
And we leave you with a quote: the earlier and more often children are exposed to nature, the happier, healthier, and brighter they become.
Yeah. So, keeping up with the garden and the theme, Gardens of Hope, I want to introduce Nada Corey, founder and president of the Joseph P. Corey Foundation, and Lisa Richmond, who also is critical and essential to the foundation.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nada Corey. I'm the founder of the Joseph P. Corey Foundation and the Gardens of Hope. And you've probably seen me before, so I don't want to talk too much about myself. But today we have a very, very special occasion because one of our gardens shone a light upon their garden. And we're so, so, so proud about that. And it is the Pomosa School that really did everything possible to bring actually, Pomosa School is here, but Hammock Point, Hammock Point in Boca Raton, they brought the Shine the Light crew to their garden early in the morning, and all the kids, the teachers, and we all came by to be part of that event. And I would really like to share that with you because we want to spotlight that school, those teachers, and those children for their accomplishment today. So.
548 right now, some local students are learning the basics of gardening and all it has to offer. And they need the rain. Think about it. This morning, WPTV's T.A. Walker shining a light on an interest club at Hammock Point Elementary in Boca Raton. Hey, T.A.
Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Ashley. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we're with the third graders of Hammock Point Elementary. Say hi, everyone. And this is the gardening club. And Miss Nielsen, how did this get started and what's it all about?
We started this about 5 years ago
as a chance for kids to come outside and do something healthy. And 4 years ago, I partnered with the Joseph P. Corey Foundation, and Nada and her organization has funded us to expand this to the garden that you see now. We have about 30 to 40 kids every year in third grade come out. They learn how to grow their own food. They learn how to stay healthy. They burn a lot of calories, hauling buckets of water, and they get to take home some of their produce, try some new recipes, and all around just learn about being healthy.
I love that. Miss Nada, I've been watching you this morning, and you just love working with the kids.
Oh, I do. I do love teaching them in a playful way so that they can remember what they have learned and how they can then implement whatever they've learned in their future lives. So I'm planting seeds.
You're planting seeds. Play on words. I love that. That's good for school to have plays on words. Right. So what's in your pot right here?
Kale, dill, and rosemary, and peppers, and some red tomatoes.
Awesome. Let me go behind you guys real quick. I want to get to some others. What do you have in your pot right here? Show the camera.
Kale, green peppers, cherry tomatoes, and flowers from dill.
Dill. The dill has some weird flower tops. What do you like about the garden club?
That we get to water plants, and it grows a lot.
It grows a lot. If you look around, Bob, if you could show the whole garden, I know it's hard because it's kind of dark out. You can see that these guys really have it going on, and there's a lot of greenery here, and it smells delightful. The smells of dill and basil. It's quite a program they have here in Boca, guys.
Absolutely fantastic. You know, the proof is there that if you have a picky eater, you get your kids involved in gardening, something like this, you can, get them to eat the asparagus and the Brussels sprouts.
Because they feel like they're a part of it, right? And they'll be more into it. TA, great stuff. Thank you so much.
Right.
Beautiful garden, by the way. You have.
There you go. I'm so proud of those kids because they really remembered everything that they had in their little buckets, which means that they knew what they had. And one of the kids was asked, "Kale, do you like kale?" And she said, "Yeah, I love kale." And what is his name, TJ? He said, "Really? You like kale?" She said, "Yeah, I do." So all of that comes through the due diligence of working with the kids and playing with them in the garden and basically, changing their perception and their future with what they're learning there and having a lot of fun along the way. So all of that would not happen without a dedicated teacher, and in this case, we have two. We have Miss Nielsen, and we have Carrie Gallagher, and we have their principal with us today too, which is the backbone of everything. So I'm really grateful to each one of them for being part of this amazing endeavor that we are all together on in planting seeds for our future. So I would love to honor them. Thank you. Yeah.
So we're very, very excited to have the Lifetime Award for Child and Youth Mental Health Advocacy presented by Keith Oswell, Chief of Equity and Wellness, Dr. Mary Claire Musenik, Behavior and Mental Health Director, and Dr. Seth Bernstein.
Thank you, Paula. Good afternoon, everybody.
How y'all doing? All right. So about 22 years ago, yes, 22 years ago, actually, if I point of privilege, Vari, who was up here earlier, one of our wellness coordinators, 30 years ago, I actually met him when I was a brand new teacher at Barton Elementary, and he was obviously not a teacher then, but a student. So very proud of you that you came back and are teaching our students in the schools, Vari. So, but 22 years ago, I wasn't a teacher, I was a principal. My school counselor called me in to, because there was an issue, a challenge, that she got a call from someone named Sharon Tarlow. And I'm like, well, who's Sharon Tarlow? And so that's when I first got to know Sharon Tarlow, who was education coordinator at JFK North. So JFK North, which for those of you who don't know what that location does, that really supports the youth in our community when students are in a state of great concern to hurt or harm themselves. So they get transferred there to get evaluated. So Sharon's role, which is a critical role in a liaison between the school district and JFK North, is to ensure that the support that our students receive when they come back into our campuses are in place to make sure that they can succeed. That it's more than just the academics, but we've got to make sure that we have a plan in place. And then fast forward over the years, Sharon has become a dear friend of mine for many different reasons, but mostly for the support that she's provided for our students who needed the most support and a point of their lives that have, when they had no one else there to support them. So I'm proud to be able to, announce this award for her. But before that, I'm going to let Dr. Musenik say a few words, and I think Seth is beaming in to talk to us again as well. Dr. Musenik, you want to say?
I just want to thank you for all your support for the students, my staff. You just, you are very much missed, but you are just so solid, and you have left a legacy behind, so we're happy to be able to celebrate you.
So Seth is in Italy, but he had to be here too. So there we go.
Sharon Tarlow, you are amazing. You're getting this Lifetime Achievement Award, and I'm so sorry that I can't be with you. But, one thing, remind me where you're from? Oh, right, Boston, right? Anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you on all the wonderful things you've done. I've known you over 2.5 decades, and you have just made such a huge impact in our community, helped so many children, worked with so many system partners, and you are the epitome of a collaborator. And just wish you congratulations in your retirement, and we look forward to continuing to work together as a volunteer. Stay well, Sharon.
And so, also, so part of this whole model is about whole community. So Sharon has connected so many different agencies, support groups, so many of us to come together that we've grown as a school district to provide the whole child the support that they need. So it was with great honor to announce Sharon Tarlow, the Lifetime Award for Child and Youth Mental Health Advocacy in Palm Beach County.
Don't move. So we do have family here and friends, and we would like for them to just come really quick, and we'll take a photo with you as well. I know Rick, Kim, everyone, please. Nancy. Nancy. Everyone. You stay. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I am so overwhelmed. For all of you who know me, I'm usually not speechless, but this time I am truly speechless. I thank you all for this recognition and this honor. I am just overwhelmed. But how lucky I was, because I had a job that I loved. And it was because of all of you. I got to work with consummate professionals who were dedicated and devoting their careers to helping children and families of Palm Beach County. So I'm the lucky one. We were a great team. We made a difference, and I know that you all will continue to do so even more, better than ever, because mental health needs need to be addressed now. So thank you all for all you did. Thank you all for this tremendous honor. I am beyond speechless, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Here, you want me to, you want to hold it?
I'm back for something else. Oh,
Yes.
am I supposed to? Oh, am I on the right one? So-
Structure.
Okay. Or you want to come up too? So, y'all may or may not know, but in the United States, about 1 in 5 adolescents lives with mental illness. And by becoming a certified youth mental health first aider, you can recognize signs and symptoms of distress and guide a person towards appropriate resources, treatments, and other supportive health care. According to the National Council, every 1 in 15 people should be certified to identify, understand, and respond to signs and symptoms of mental health and substance use challenges. Your remarkable support and commitment this year is the reason our district was able to meet and exceed the goal of ensuring that 8% of school personnel have received the required youth mental health awareness training. In fact, close to 90% of our district employees are certified youth mental health first aiders. And we're not done yet. We started this year in August with 67 certified instructors, and as of today, we have 120 instructors, some of which are here today, and we are growing. Each of you recognize the tremendous impact of this work. I want to thank you for advocating to reduce negative attitudes about mental illnesses, educating and building mental health literacy, and taking the lead to show others that they can help save our students' lives and promote the importance of well-being. It's because of you that we were able to offer over 800 classes and train over 19,000 employees district-wide. So I want you to think about 89% of our employees. We have how many employees? You heard Mr. Burke talk about this earlier. They're able to recognize signs around this issue of mental health. We've been preaching for years, and it's really starting to stick, that it's okay to be okay, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to ask for help. We have to continue that. We have to continue to support that saying so that students know they can reach out, as well as our employees. So I want any of the trainers to please come on up. Anybody who's a trainer that's here, please come on up. Aura has been leading this work, Dr. Musenik.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So bring your certificate. Thank you for everything you do to support our youth mental health first aid. That's awesome. Look at this. Julie.
Good luck with that picture.
Melanie. Oh, no. Yes, I see. I don't want to block you. Oh, no. Not too far. You're a lot taller. And you need to be in the picture, not so much me. Good to have you.
Let's go.
Excellent. Okay, we're moving right along. So we're going to start with the next moment of mindfulness.
You can use that mic. Yeah, you can use that mic. I'm not gonna walk in. Greetings and blessings, everyone. You hear me all right? All right. Cool. So I want everyone, we're going to do a little activity because we've been doing stuff sitting down for a little bit. Let's stand up. We're going to do this moment of mindfulness standing. Do something a little different. And if there's no one next to you, I want you to just go next to someone, find a partner. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to just be breathing anyway. But find one person to be next to, and you're going to partner up, all right? And it'll make sense later, trust me. We'll just stand up, stand straight back, relax your arms to your sides, and let's close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. From here on, we'll do all breathing through the nose if possible. Just inhale and exhale. We watch the breath happen. We notice that natural rhythm in our belly with each inhale and exhale. We just watch the breath as it happens on its own. And that's the great thing about the breath. It's always present, always happening. Whether we're thinking about it or not, the breath is always there for us to come back to. If we ever get distracted, lost, frustrated, stuck on one sensation or feeling, we can always just come back to the breath, back to that action in the present moment, that rhythm that's always present within our core, within our belly. And from there, from the present moment, we can return to any intention that we set, any focus that we set. Let's Just take a moment, listen to the sounds around us. Same thing, we let them come and go on their own, just like the breath. There's no need to hold on to any one sound or sensation. Each one comes and goes, just like the breath. Bring our attention back to the breath. And you can rub your palms together to generate heat. And place the hands over the sockets of the eyes, and you can massage around the eyes, but don't rub your eyes, please. And you can blink your eyes open. And we're going to set an intention for a moment. We're just going to get present. So remember your neighbor, your partner. We're going to do a quick check-in. So you're going to say it to each other. We're going to say, we have 3 statements. So 1 is your name, 2 is how you feel, and 3 is statement, I am present. So let's take a second. Think of one word that describes how you feel right now in the moment. Just being present, honest with yourself. There's no right or wrong or good or bad. Just being present. Once you have that one word, we'll face our neighbor and introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is Jamal. I feel relaxed and I'm present. Moving on. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you for this one.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. Right on it. We're now to the next recognition. We're all in Champions for Equity in Education. Presented by Brian Knowles, Program Planner for African American, Latino, Holocaust, and Gender Studies. And I believe Pete Stewart may be virtual. He's our health education specialist. Brian.
Say it again. Gotcha. Good afternoon, everybody. I have the privilege and honor of introducing and honoring somebody who is amazing, probably one of the most incredible, dopest individuals that I actually have ever met in my life, actually. Prenu is the owner of Rohi's Readery, which is a bookstore downtown surrounded around social justice. We have had the opportunity and pretty much the blessing to work on multiple projects with her over the last couple of years around just bringing community awareness or just around diversity and inclusion. So when we're talking about a champion, I want to kind of elevate that a little bit. I'm going to say a revolutionary around equity. I know a lot of people that claim to be equity champions, and sometimes we use the word equity kind of loosely, but she's really about that life, as we like to say, when it comes around equity and doing everything that it really takes to really bring equity around just awareness around issues and really highlighting the contributions and just the very much presence of those groups of social exclusion in our community. So, got a video. Okay. All right. You got
It's
it?
a first in downtown West Palm Beach, a social justice children's bookstore.
WPTV News Channel 5 Severa Rayford introduces you to a Palm Beach County woman determined to spread a message, the message of inclusion.
At this new children's bookstore in Rosemary Square, each book shares one common theme: diversity. At Rosemary Square in West Palm Beach,
All are welcome here.
you'll find a store filled with stories
No matter how you start your day, what you wear, when you play.
and a woman with a message.
All are welcome here.
It's called Rohi's Readery,
which is a social justice-driven children's bookstore and learning center that is committed to critical literacy that promotes inclusivity and diversity.
For Pranu Kumar, the founder of the store, the mission is personal.
Rohi. Rohi actually is short for Rohini. Rohini in India, my grandmother was a steadfast advocate for educational rights for children, especially during the caste system in colonialized India.
Pranu says growing up in America still presented its challenges.
Feeling experiences of isolation for not only myself, but for my family as well.
And after the birth of her daughter, Rohini, Pranu became determined to not only share her grandmother's name, but her legacy.
She was one who made sure that every child always felt seen, loved, heard, belonged, and valued.
Now these walls are lined with faces of different shades, hair of different textures, and children from different backgrounds.
So my hope is that if you're looking to find community, if you're looking to build community, if you're looking to just have a space to be your authentic and unapologetic self, that Rohi's Readery will be that for you.
The bookstore officially opens this Friday, and the owner says they're hosting events for Juneteenth and Father's Day. We have more information on our website, WPTV.com. For now, reporting in West Palm Beach, Sabir Rayford, WPTV News Channel 5.
Okay. And trust me, this barely really captures everything that she does. Even being in this moment, that video, it just really just got scratching the surface of all the amazing things that she's leading within the community and just inspiring our community around just solidarity and making sure that we have a much more inclusive environment that really combats some of the ignorance that we deal with within society. So I believe that Pete is here.
Yes,
He's here virtually with us, and I'm just waiting to hear him or see him or something. All right.
Yes, I am
There we
here.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So, gosh, I don't even know how to follow that, but Pranu is one of my favorite people, as is Brian. And
Thank
so
you.
I just
Appreciate it.
Sign
Sign up for your evaluation. So.
That's right. That's right. So I had to be here virtually. My daughter is graduating from University of Florida in about 3 hours. But, as you saw in that piece, and one of the mottos of Rohi's Readery is to be a revolutionary reader. And as Brian mentioned, and as you can see, Pranu is a revolutionary, and we are so proud to partner with her on everything she does in the community. We partner with her on Awareness Months. We have an event coming up with her on June 3rd for Pride Month. And, as it says on their website, Rohi's Readery serves as a space to build community, to be seen, valued, loved, belong, and to live your unapologetic truth. And we are just so proud, not only of all the work that she does in the community, but that she lets us partner with her to bring that to students, to parents, through reading, through literacy events, through activism, and we're just so happy that she is the recipient of this year's We're All In Award.
Pete, I really like your Gator shirt. Go Gators. Congratulations to your daughter graduating tomorrow. And Brian, you want to honor Penny with the...
Absolutely. So Pranu, where? There you go. Where are you?
And she brought her beautiful baby and family. So next we have Kristen Rulison, our Skills of Learning and Life and School Counseling Manager, and Michael Kanuski, Project Connect Program Planner for the Dynamic House System Climate and Culture Heroes. That sounds beautiful.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to present these two awards for a new SLL Climate and Culture initiative that we started this year as a pilot with 6 schools. And it's about implementing a house system. And houses make up these smaller communities within each school. where all students and staff belong to a house so that everyone has a sense of membership in school. And they have that caring, trusted adult, and they have these, each house represents different character traits, history, and traditions, as well as provides opportunities for student leadership and community outreach. So as we were implementing this program, there were two awards that I asked to give out. One is an individual award to one of our house leaders from Osceola Creek Middle School, Mr. Chris Forte. And I wanted to award him with this because when we think about doing something new, not only was Mr. Forte such a leader in his school building with implementing this, but he helped every single other school. He was always willing to help out, problem solve, and was really about making sure that this didn't just grow in his building, but other buildings as well. And then the second award is going to go to Everglades. If anyone's had the opportunity to go to Everglades Elementary this year, you'll see that they kind of had an extreme makeover. They not only took this house system, but they truly made it part of the culture of their school. Everyone that walks into that building, they let you know that you're part of this house family and you get to experience and feel it. So we have our house leaders from Everglades to come up and accept this award along with Mr. Forte. Congratulations. Congratulations. Do you want to? Sure. So our next is school counseling spotlights with Kristen Rulison and Sherry Gerben Daniels and Robert Grossman and Dr. Charlene Beckford.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charlene Beckford, and I have the honor of presenting an award to a school that recently was awarded the RAMP designation. So what is RAMP? It stands for the Recognized ASCA Model Program. And this recognizes schools that are committed to delivering comprehensive school counseling programs that are aligned with the ASCA National Model Framework. And ASCA stands for America's School Counseling Association. So yes, there's an acronym within the acronym. The RAMP application process is an extremely involved process. It's the culmination of successfully implementing the ASCA National Model Framework to show evidence of direct and indirect services to students, program planning, and improved student outcomes in the school counseling program. There are only 6 schools in the state of Florida that currently hold the RAMP designation. 2 of these 6 are right here within Palm Beach School District. Today, we are here to recognize one of them that recently received their designation, and that's Park Vista Community High School. And Park Vista were unable to join us today. As you know, it is the last day for our seniors, and so they are busy supporting our students, as all of our school counselors do, so they are unable to be here today to accept their award, but they are very grateful.
Okay. Good afternoon. Each year, the School District of Palm Beach County recognizes School Counselors of the Year from elementary, middle school, and high school, as well as one new School Counselor of the Year. Effective school counseling programs show us what the research tells us, that our school counselors have a significant impact on students' academic achievement, skills for learning in life, and plans for life after graduation. At this time, we present the School Counselors of the Year for the 2022-2023 school year. And as we all know, we have the most dedicated school counselors in the state. So our new School Counselor of the Year is unable to be with us today because she's also at Park Vista High School, and her students are at their last day, they're seniors. So for now, I'd like to recognize, and that one was Vanessa Sanchez. And now I'd like to recognize elementary. I'm partial to elementary. Kimberly Linder, please come on down. She's the Elementary School Counselor of the Year. She is absolutely amazing, and you can tell by the light that she brings with her as she walks over.
Oh, you got it? Okay, good. Thanks, Paula. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robert Grossman, Middle School Counselor Program Planner. And we do have an amazing group of school counselors in the School District of Palm Beach County and throughout the state of Florida. But our most amazing school counselor for middle school this year is Luma Burgos.
And finally, we also want to recognize our High School Counselor of the Year, Alyssa Tolbert. Alyssa, again, high school, was unable to join us today, but she's from Santa Lucia's High School. And let's just give a round of applause for all of our school counselors. Yes. You move over.
And next, I'd like to bring Mr. Joe Sanchez, Chief Operating Officer for the Sustainability Spotlight Award. I believe we also have Ann Meter, Senior Environmental Specialist, and Nicole Blackson, Environmental Specialist.
Hey, guys. So good afternoon. So this year we would like to recognize two schools for their commitment to educating, confirming, and inspiring members of their campuses to being sustainable schools with the 2023 Sustainability Spotlight Award. These schools demonstrate how education and outreach increases student and staff engagement and makes for a more sustainable campus. First up is Royal Palm School. Principal Jennifer Cochran and Green Champion Sarah Gutierrez are true leaders in sustainability. The student ambassadors of the Green Team on the Royal Palm School campus are wonderful examples of students making a difference in their school culture. The Student Green Team has made custom recycling bins for their classrooms to show which items can be recycled, in addition to a recycling corner to educate other students about recycling on their campus. Thank you for being recycling rock stars, Royal Palm School. Our second Sustainability Spotlight Award goes to Indian Ridge School. Principal Eugene Ford, along with Green Champion Christy Stacy and Green Team members Gail Stable, Duma, and Oscar Gomez, went above and beyond to make sure that their school campus recycles. For Earth Day this year, the Green Team and Environmental Conservation Services staff worked together to make recycling fun for students. The team at Indian Ridge School works hard every week to maintain a consistent recycling pickup schedule, in addition to having recycling bins placed in most classrooms. Thank you, Indian Ridge School team, for educating and inspiring your students about the importance of recycling and to be good stewards of their environment. So we'd like representatives from both schools to come on up so we can take a picture. Congratulations, guys. Oh.
Get a bag. Now, Nicole, does the bag have a specific school? Okay, I thought this is.
Okay, we had a little sneaker surprise award in here as well. And I see our recipients kind of walking away, but you're going to turn around. So we have our Outstanding Sustainability Award. So our 2023 Outstanding Sustainability Administrator nominee is Ms. Nicole Blackstone from Environmental and Conservation Services. So Ms. Blackstone is come on up, Black. She's a 14-year veteran science teacher that believes in the value of importance of sustainability, conservation, and the need to educate, affirm, and inspire the students, staff, and community to protect Earth's natural resources. Ms. Blackstone transitioned from the classroom to the administrative role of environmental specialist less than a year ago. In that brief time, her talents and skills enhanced the Environmental Conservation Services Sustainable Schools website and Google Classroom platforms with outstanding results. The district now boasts 13 state of Florida recognized Green Apple schools and 4 U.S. Department of Education nationally recognized Green Ribbon schools. The Sustainable Schools Action Plans were created by 9 schools. Green Champion designation saw a 20% increase to 103. Green Scene quarterly newsletter subscriptions increased by 28% to 504 subscribers, including external community partners. Sustainability Symposium attendance increased to 77 teachers from multiple disciplines with a half-day professional development workshop sponsored by FPL and Manatee Lagoon. District schools participated in 3 recycling and energy conservation-focused contests with first and third place winners and bringing in $5,000 to schools and students. Community engagement was strengthened by 13 new and reoccurring active partnerships embarked for specifically for teacher professional development, outreach events, piloting new initiatives, and or student-centered contests promoting sustainable action. And district schools were inspired to celebrate the 53rd annual Earth Day initiative, engaging with local city and regulatory agencies in various activities and contests. Even Superintendent Burke participated and filmed the next series of Burke and Work on Earth Day edition. So many of you saw that already online. So I want to congratulate Ms. Nicole Blackstone for being Outstanding Sustainability Administrator for 2023.
Nicole, congratulations. Thank you. I would have worn my gift.
It was a surprise. Next, we're going to do a moment of mindfulness.
Okay, so now we have another opportunity. And in this segment, I'm going to ask you guys to stand. And we're going to share. So what I want you to do is to let your hands go. Relax. Close your eyes. And relax. Your mind. Your body. Your thoughts. Let love. Let peace. Let tolerance. Relax. Now I want you to turn your hands forward in a receiving mode and receive positive energy. Receive love. Receive gratitude. Receive the kindness. Receive. And now I want you to raise your hands and share it. Share the energy of love and sharing. Share it with your brothers, your sisters, the children we teach, the neighborhood, the teachers, the parents. Have compassion. Don't be too quick to punish. Share the love. I want you to turn to the next person next to you and just say, I love you. I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you. Oh my gosh, I love you all. We're getting there, but it's exciting. We are not finished. We're next to the McKinney-Vento program supporter and Alicia Coleman, MP program planner, and Melanie Labido, safe school specialist.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was going to tell everybody to stand up and stretch because we were in the mindfulness moment. I am Alicia Coleman. I am the proud program planner representing the Department of Safe Schools. My director is Diane Wyatt. Safe Schools in the house. We have the best chief, Chief Oswald, in the front. I'm not saying that, Chief, because you're here, but you are. And my program manager is Kelly Mullins. And I have some special people up here before I get started. I just want you to pay attention to their names before I introduce who we're honoring. You don't have to raise your hand, but this is Jackie Bell. She is my outreach case manager. And Dawn Turner, she's my outreach case manager as well under McKinney-Vento. Today, we have the opportunity to honor the Soup Kitchen of Boynton Beach. And let me tell you, that's a round of applause. This place is a hidden gem. This year, they're getting ready to celebrate their 40th anniversary. Some people, marriages don't last that long, but 40th anniversary, and that's something to be applauded for. Let's give them a round of applause. Why? Why is the McKinney-Vento program recognizing this amazing organization? In our program, I work with a team of phenomenal case managers. I have a wonderful specialist, and he's here. He should have came up here with us, Mr. Orlando. But with that being said, we protect the educational rights of homeless students and youth. Right now, in our district, we are standing at over 5,700 kids we have identified this year. That's record-breaking. We're not saying record-breaking because we're celebrating that number. It's record-breaking because we can help those children. And because of the soup kitchen, we have had the opportunity to identify 500 students on their site. They allowed my two outreach case managers, Dawn and Jackie, to come while they're doing their diaper program bi-weekly, faithfully. As you can see, Dawn is up there, and the families are ready. They're picking up diapers, free diapers, formula, all of those things. And at the same time, they're like, what is McKinney-Vento? What is a student housing questionnaire? I've seen that with my kids' back-to-school forms, but I wasn't quite sure. But these young ladies have been working really hard to get those numbers increased. And I just want to say, the team at the soup kitchen welcomed us with open arms. This team always has some good food going on in there because they feed everybody. You don't have to be homeless to go to the soup kitchen. There's free groceries, free diapers, formulas, Wheels on Meals. I can go on and on. But without further ado, I want to call up the team. I want to call up Holly. Come on up, Holly. Holly is specialist there. She's in charge of the Lift Up program. She's amazing. I want to call out Miss Marlene. She is the Chief Executive Officer. Is Marlene here with us? Okay. And Miss Maria Aguilar. Where are you, Maria? Miss and she's the connection with our outreach case managers. She makes sure they know we're ready. The diaper program is in full effect. You can come on up here and you can identify families. And next is we have Mr. Dimitri. He is the Chief Operating Officer. He's not here with us today, but he's here in spirit. So let's give the Soup Kitchen a big round of applause because they represent us, 500 students identified.
Congratulations. Next, we will do the Community Outreach Champions with Julie Acevedo, Welcome Center Specialist, and Javier Ortolaza, Assistant Principal from Coniston Community Middle.
Well, thank you for being with us today. What a great, great afternoon we're spending together. And please receive greeting from Melissa Patterson, the director from Multicultural Department, and our manager, Kathy Choice. And behind me right here, Julie Acevedo is continuing the hard work and wonderful work at the Welcome Center. So today we would like to recognize one of our faith-based partners that has been serving the community well, for a long time, but in 2019, when the pandemic shut everything down, they started their food pantry. Oh, did I put that? Okay, there it is. They started the food pantry in a small room, later becoming a distribution site in Lake Worth Beach. They provide food items to over 500 people every week. The organization also collaborates with community agencies like Bridges at Highland to provide families with social support. Iglesia de Dios, Puerta del Cielo, has been very instrumental for our families in Lake Worth Beach. Puerta del Cielo, am I pressing that button? No. Oh. Okay, Puerta del Cielo has supported the Welcome Center with school supplies for all newcomers and donated items of basic needs for their families. They have done community events partnering with various agencies to distribute clothes and shoes for families. And guess what? The immunization van have been using the church facility to provide support to local schools in the area where Lake Worth High, Lake Worth Middle, Highland Elementary, North Grade, and South Grade Elementary parents can go to the church and get their immunization up to date. This way, parents who are unable to make it to the Welcome Center are able to walk to the church and get their vaccination up to date. And they're there the third Monday of the month. Puerta del Cielo has impacted many families. I am proud to present this award for their outstanding contribution to the families in Lake Worth Beach. And Julie, ready?
Without further ado, we will present the first award to Dr. Carlos Bentancur, which is the pastor. Also, Gustavo Rivero, the food pantry director, and Wilfredo Roman, Faith Community Closet Director.
Next, we're doing the Teen Parent Program Champion with Katia Hildenbert, Teen Parent Program Specialist, and Melanie Alberto.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I get started, I would like our case manager for our program, Judith McInnes, if she would join us. All right, so a little bit about our program. One of our main goals is to remove barriers for parenting or expecting teen parents in our program. And in doing that, we typically lean heavily on parents for support, schools for support, community programs, and agencies. Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies is one of the primary programs that we do collaborate with often. So when we thought about having our first Teen Parent Program Champion Award, without hesitation, Noretta's name came up. Noretta has been working closely with our program for many, many years and has a working relationship with our case manager, who is our boots on the ground, and keeps her ear to the community. And as early as last week, we had a situation at a high school. And I called Noretta. She picked up the phone. and we needed an intake right away. Student didn't have a phone. We didn't know how we would connect her to services. Our contact at the school site, the school counselor, Ms. Denise Reed, when I called Noretta, even though it was her day off, she didn't hesitate. She connected me to somebody who was available on her team, coordinated, gave me phone numbers, emails, and with that, we were able to connect the program with the student. And so we thank you. We appreciate you. Your hard work is not unnoticed. In order for our students to be successful, it takes a village. And that village, oftentimes, especially, at the school site, there's a lot of school support. However, oftentimes with our students, there's a lot more needs involved when they step outside of the classroom, when they step off the campus. And so with your support, again, we thank you so much. We just can't put into words how much work you've done with our program. So with all of our students who graduate, at some point they've connected to some type of community service, and at the heart of that is Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. So we also give a special shout out to your administrative team, because without their support, we wouldn't be able to collaborate as well as we do with you today. And so in future collaborations as well. And so if you would come up so we can honor you today. And if her team could join her as well. Anyone from Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies? Diane?
Record-breaking, the top 10 movers. This was a community effort, and we're very excited to have our Director of Community Relations from Digital Vibes, Debbie Feinsinger. You want to come? Before Debbie starts acknowledging those 10 movers, I want to say congratulations to the district, because we placed, what did we place? Fourth. And we have a little plaque. We have placed that. We have those plaques, and they're going to be a line in a window here in the district. And Village of Wellington and Lion Country Safari and City of Delray beat us. But I think next year, Joe, you're going to be leading us with a big effort. And I think, Keith, you're going to lead us as well, so we get it at least the third or second. But next, if you'd like to.
First, I want to thank my friends in mindfulness. We all need a little bit more mindfulness moments in our lives. So I thank you. Thank you for having me here today. I want to thank the school district for joining Digital Vibes and Palm Health Foundation's 2023 Let's Move Commit to Change Physical Activity Challenge. Thank you to everyone here who participated. We had over 103 million minutes logged on the Let's Move website during the month of March. It was a record-breaking year for this Palm Beach County Wellness Initiative. We all know how important it is to stay active for our physical and mental well-being. Principals and Let's Move team leaders, please come up when I announce your schools. The top 10 schools who logged the most physical activity minutes for the school district of Palm Beach County are Hidden Oaks K-8, Belvedere Elementary, Highland Elementary, K.E. Cunningham Canal Point Elementary, Krista McAuliffe Middle, Jupiter Elementary, the School Food Service Department, Wellington Community High School, Chuck Shaw Technical Center, and John I. Leonard School. Congratulations. Thank you all for committing to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. We can't wait to see how many minutes you log next year. Thank you.
Do you want to take? Now, the Richard David Kahn Foundation, I believe we have Zach Barrett. Oh, there you are. And Janique. Hello, hello. And we have the baggies and the... Yes, we can. Video first? Okay, video's coming. Students are here. They're excited. Come on. Uh-oh, sound? Sound?
Has everyone applied their sunscreen? Chill out, bro.
Safety never stops. Look at the sun, it never sleeps.
Well, that guy is drowning. Someone should help him. What, like a team of teens who save lives?
Well, that's not really our area of expertise. Send a lifeguard.
Meanwhile,
Well, let's relax and enjoy these safe morning sun rays with our long sleeves, sun hats, sunscreen, dope designer sunglasses, and the state-of-the-art umbrella.
Oh my God, I can't wait to tan and get so hot doggy.
Hot doggy, I'm not even gonna ask.
Oh, my sunscreen. Oh my god, somebody sent him to jail. That's so crazy.
This is not what's going on. SPT, assemble.
Oh, no. What happened? Wait.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, wait, the bottom.
Wait, fast.
Can we fast forward? Yes.
I like it.
It's really good. Good.
To be continued. All right.
No, we can't do that. Can we fast forward or we'll play it. So can you, it's there. I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Repeat one more time.
Has everyone applied their sunscreen? Chill out, bro.
sun safety never stops. Look at the sun, it never sleeps.
Well, that guy is drowning. Someone should help him. What, like a team of teens who save lives?
That's not really our area of expertise. That's the lifeguard.
Meanwhile,
Well, let's relax and enjoy these safe morning sun rays with our long sleeves, sun hats, sunscreen, dope designer sunglasses, and the state-of-the-art umbrella.
Oh my God, I can't wait to tan and get so hot doggy.
Hot doggy, I'm not even gonna ask. Oh, my sunshine, he's tan. Oh my god, somebody sent him to jail. That's so crazy.
This is not respiratory now. Let's continue. Assemble.
We are live.
Good evening, West Palm Beach. I'm your anchor woman, Ashley Ramos.
And I'm Mario Ortega.
We come to you with breaking news. This afternoon around 2 p.m., 2 teens were caught tanning without sunscreen.
Authorities were called to the scene where they found a group of teens vigorously applying sunscreen to these criminals. But we thank these heroes.
Minutes before, a citizen was allegedly drowning. But that doesn't matter. That SP team helped save a life today.
We turn this back to your scheduled viewing. Good night, everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about that little glitch. That was my problem. That was my fault, not Paula's. Okay, so I'm Janique, and this is Zach. We're from the RDK Melanoma Foundation. Our mission is to save lives through the education and early prevention of skin cancer, especially melanoma. So this year, we created a video contest for all of our SAM students, Students Against Melanoma. And luckily, Forest High is here with us today, and they are the first prize winner. Clearly, you can see it was entertaining. The goal was to educate children younger than them. So they're in high school, educate middle school, elementary. So as you can see, it was very fun and it was interactive. Thank you guys for everything you do. Come on up. We can do it with the photo.
I love your video. Thank you so very much, students. You were amazing, and I love your video. Thank you for coming and staying till the end. Exemplary blood drive performances, presenter Claudia Pasamonti, Region Director of Collections and Recruitment, and Paul Caruso, Manager of Donor Recruitment.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having us. And first and foremost, we wanted to thank the School District of Palm Beach County and the Wellness Promotion Task Force, of course, under Paula's leadership. And we are your local non-for-profit blood center that supplies all our hospitals with blood products here in Palm Beach County. And part of the blood supply that we gather every year is 20% of it comes from high school students. So it's an essential part of our blood supply for our high schools that contribute to it. And during that time, too, even more importantly, the students that lead the blood drives, whether they're donors or committee members, then transition to donors as they become older in life, whether it's college or their professional careers. And in my 19 years with the company, it's very cool to see students then transition and meet them 10, 12 years later after they were in high school and see that they're still donating because it's much easier to get somebody to donate when they're in high school because they get out of class, they get pizza, they get to socialize, so there's a lot of French benefits, but in the big scheme of things, every time they donate, they save 3 lives. So we wanted to recognize 2 particular high schools that were outstanding this year. And for the first one is the exemplary blood drive performance, and the performer of the year is John I. Leonard with Dr. Jesus Armas and our chairperson, Jackie Burgess Malone. If you would come up, please. Thank you so much, Jackie. Yep. Oh, okay. Afterward. Okay. And last but not least is Committee of the Year. And the committees, every high school has a student committee, and they're the ones that are responsible for organizing the drive, promoting the drives, encouraging their other students to donate. And this School Committee of the Year goes to Suncoast Community High School. And Principal Corner, who's not here, our chairperson, Autumn Ramsey, our student head volunteer, Jacob DeRocha, who is here in attendance, and he's going to accept the award as well. Jacob's on the side. Okay. Yeah.
All right, all right. The room got very lean, but that's okay. We took the weights out and we did a lot of exciting things. But since some of you are in the back, I'd like for you to come in. Nelly, you can come with officer. Come closer to us as we're closing this meeting and celebrating all the great things that our students and our employees and our community are doing every day. I can't thank you enough, so I'm going to pass it to our wonderful Keith Oswell.
All right. So it's Cinco de Mayo, and it's 4:45, but I don't know what you all are thinking.
And it's Friday.
But I want to thank all of you for sticking around to the end. What a day, right? What's happening in our community is just outstanding. I want to thank our mindfulness team here. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. And to kick us off into almost 5 o'clock, we got one last surprise for you.
Yeah.
But again, I want to thank you all again and congratulations to everybody. And you're going to do the honors?
Yeah.
Okay. And back to Paula.
So I just, again, couldn't thank enough Allison. You really are an amazing director. I love you very, very much. Also, Frances Rosier couldn't be here, but I want to thank her and everybody from our Wellness Task Force Committee. You know your names, and the ones that are not here, they know the love and commitment that they put into representing our district and making us shine. And again, we do this with lots of grace and love. So I'm going to invite again our trio, energizing our community. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
One more big round of applause for Paula for putting all this together. Great job, Paula.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. So I'm going to warm you up a little bit with a Tai Chi move. And this one is good for lowering your blood pressure whenever if you get upset about something. This is a nice way to like take it down. And then while we're doing that, we're going to get energized at the same time. So let's warm you up. Can you please stand? Rest your hand like it's on an invisible table. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out. Now I want you to raise your hands, keeping your knees straight, going up like you're painting the wall. Bring the palms of your hand forward. Gently bend your knees, bring it down. All the way down. Let's do another one. Straighten the knees, going up. Palms of the hands forward, coming down.
Keep doing that. Keep breathing. Moving the hands up, down. And now as you bring the hands down, we're going to add a sound with our breath. We're going to add a exhale. Or an ooh. 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 And how about an E? Speed it up.
Energy. Energy.
Leave the hands up.
Energy. 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 Energy.
Say it out loud.
Energy. 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 Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. I love to move, move. I love to move it, move it. I love to move. I love to move. Yes! Spread some love, everybody!
Glad you stayed. Happy Cinco de Mayo.